Hey, we're back with another episode here where I am going to actually try to rank all of Quentin Tarantino's films. I love him. I think he's a fantastic director. He's a fun director. He's not the deepest director or anything like that, but there's this place in this world for people who just are going to show you a good time, and that's Tarantino. So I am missing from uh, what I have here. I'm missing Hateful Eight and the two Kill Bills. Now, the two Kill Bills I have loaned out to somebody who has yet to return them. I'm talking to you, and you know exactly who I'm talking to. You need to get those back. But really, the only film I'm really missing is Hateful Eight, and that would be towards the lower tier ranked anyway. Even though I thoroughly enjoyed it, I got to see that in theaters. It was great. Um, but yeah, so I guess we'll just start this with kind of ranking the films, and I'm sure everybody knows Tarantino, but at this point he's ubiquitous, and he's somebody that even if you don't like his films, I think you should listen to what he when he talks about movies because he's extremely passionate and he's incredibly knowledgeable. Some of the films that he's discussed, I've gone out and found myself later, and I absolutely loved them. Um, he turned me on to a lot of films that I would have never thought to watch, especially stuff from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. He really opened up the 70s film for me to realize like that's now my favorite decade, and I believe it's his as well. But once I started seeing the breadth of films that were done, it's yeah. I mean, they just had some great films from the 70s that they would no longer even try to make now. They're only gonna paint by the numbers now. They did not do that then. So I think he took a lot of that. You can really look at Tarantino as a genre filmmaker from that because he loved those movies so much, those kind of pulpy movies that he took his movies to a little higher art, especially because of the dialogue. So yeah, we'll go ahead and rank them real quick, and we'll see where we're at. So first, being what I consider his uh, worst film is Death Proof. This is not really something that people don't disagree with. Most people put this as his worst film. I actually think Death Proof works better as a double feature with Planet Terror, Robert Rodriguez film. I saw it in theaters. It was awesome that way. The missing reels just added something to it because I guess back in the day, Grindhouse, what they called it, they would show these movies back, and they would be actually like missing reels, and it would just kind of jump in the action. You would just be like, wait, what the heck happened to that 20 minutes of dialogue? Huh? And this is the full movie, kind of extended and unrated. Some of the best car chase sequences that have ever been filmed is in this. Some of the best stunt driving ever done is in this movie, so it's worth seeing for that alone. I personally, I like this movie. Don't get me wrong. When I say it's his worst movie, he's one of those directors like Wong Kar Wai and Kubrick that really like even his worst films are still really good. So yeah, I would start with Death Proof as his kind of worst film. Next, I would personally put Inglorious Bastards as his second worst film. I did not connect with this film very much. I don't know if it's because I hate Nazis so much that you can't even get joy out of watching them get killed slowly and all that sort of stuff. But it just wasn't my favorite Tarantino film, and I remember hearing about it back in the day when he was like right after Kill Bill. He was talking about Inglorious Bastards. He was writing it, and Christopher Waltz was amazing. Like him as getting him out there in the acting world was awesome. It was good for that, and I really enjoyed getting to know that actor existed because I've enjoyed a lot of his work since. But yeah, it's just not my favorite. And a lot of people it's their number one, so it shows you how good of a filmmaker he is. Next, I would put Django Unchained. I saw this in theaters. I loved it. I thought it was really good. You can tell that Leonardo DiCaprio loved playing this piece of shit, Mr. Candy. Uh, you can just tell he really enjoyed it. I read that it came down to Jamie Foxx and oh gosh, I know it's Omar from The Wire. Oh, Michael K. Williams. It came down to those two for the main actor, and Tarantino ended up offering it to Jamie Foxx. I think he offered it to Will Smith first, which that would have been a disaster in my opinion. Will Smith does not have the charisma to pull off Django. Um, and part of the reason why I keep this movie so low is I just Jamie Foxx is okay, but I really wanted to see Michael K. Williams in this role when I found out that he was the one who almost got it. Because Michael K. Williams could do the drama, he could do the visceral action scenes. I know he could have done that just fine. It would have been the comedy. That's what would have been funny to see him kind of stretch himself. And I guess in the auditions he couldn't convince Tarantino to give him the shot. But yeah, Django's great for what it is. Um, and I like I say I watched it in theaters. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's one of the only ones I have on Blu-ray. I was able to find at the Goodwill, so maybe that says something because I got it in Blu-ray. Next, I would put, if I had it, Hateful Eight. I loved Hateful Eight. It was the tension that was in the film. The big reveal of who's hiding under the floor, all that sort of stuff was just really, really good. And I thought it was a meditation on race relations a lot in America. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Hateful Eight. And I wish I had it. It's the only one I'm really missing. But yeah, I need to get that one so I can kind of complete the whole set because he's supposedly Tarantino's only going to do 10 films, and if you combine Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, he's done 9. So he's right there at his last film. So yep, that's where I would definitely put Hateful Eight right there. So that would be overall that'd be like number 7. If he does 10, it would be number 7. But right now it's just right there where it is. Next, I would put his debut, Reservoir Dogs. I got this special edition way back in the day. I wanted Mr. Pink. Such a great film. It still holds up after all these years. It's one that when a lot of people are first, I think, especially young men, are first getting into movies. This is one of those like kind of watershed movies. Like, have you seen Reservoir Dogs yet? It's like it's all taking place in one location, but by the way he breaks up the story, you really get to learn these characters and what are their motivations before the robbery, and then afterwards you kind of know what they're going to do when they get back to the place. What type of person they are. And so yeah, Reservoir Dogs I would put there. Next, I would put Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This was just a lush throwback film that and it is a period piece film. It's actually, I think it's, well, he's had a couple period pieces filmed, but this one is just so richly thought out, and the environment he created is so unique and amazing. I really, really liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It could actually end up moving up more through time. It's his newest one, so to show you that it's that high, I mean, it's a damn good movie. Now next, I would put Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. I just keep them together because they complete one big story. That was one of the best movies I've ever seen in theaters. People laughing, popcorn flying in the air. I mean, it was such a spectacle, and especially Volume 1 was, the fight scenes are so memorable to me. They're still the best I think I've ever experienced in a movie theater. I mean, and I saw the Matrixes, I saw all those, but he filmed the hell out of that movie, and he did such a good job. I wish I had them. Josh, I know you got them both. I need both of those movies back. You know that it's very hard for me to loan out anything because of this particular type of situation. I start wondering, where the hell are my movies? So, we're down to the final two. And most people know either one or number 2 is going to be Pulp Fiction. Now, for me, I'm going to put it number 2. It's crazy. It's the most Quentin Tarantino of all his films, really, and it's co-written by Roger Avery, who's a good writer as well. He did a couple really good movies like Killing Zoe and The Rules of Attraction. Um, he's a good director as well, but he never kind of got to the heights of Tarantino. But they wrote some of these stories together, and Pulp Fiction is just it's a tour de force. I mean, it won the Cannes Film Festival, the Palme d'Or, or whatever, and it still holds up. It's probably his of his films, it's just got great repeated viewing ability. Like, you just love it. It's You can even know everything that's coming, and it's still fresh. I mean, it came out like in 93 or 94, so it's 30 years old, and it's still fresh. It's still good. um I could just as easily put this number one, but I'm not going to. I'm going to put it number two today, and honestly, I think it may stay at least number two, if not, maybe go down sometimes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Kill Bill's not gonna beat Pulp Fiction. So Pulp Fiction's at least gonna be number one or number two, but it's probably gonna stay number two because as I've gotten older, when I first saw Jackie Brown, I liked it. I thoroughly liked it. But as I've gotten older and I've rewatched all of these films and I've rewatched them multiple times, Jackie Brown is his most mature work. It's his most grounded work. Essentially, it's Pam Grier playing Jackie Brown as this woman who's out of options. And how is she going to make it through this turmoil that she's in? And how does she get that bag of money in the end? Because everyone's playing everyone to get that. And it's got great performances by Robert Forster, great performances by Samuel L. Jackson, who considers this, I read not too long ago, he considers Ordell Roby his favorite character he ever got to play. And you can tell he had a freaking blast playing him, because he's a son of a bitch. And, this has got Bridget Fonda in it before she retired. It's got De Niro in it, who plays like this bumbling loser, stoner. Lewis, and it's got some shocking scenes in it, but it also has a lot of like restraint, and he just did a great job of conveying Jackie's kind of angst to make a good life. Like, this is her last shot. She's in her late 40s. A lot of life has passed her by, and she's looking at some time in prison now, and it's like, either I pull off this big caper or I'm back to nothing. So she's got absolutely nothing to lose, and it's a fantastic film. I love Jackie Brown so much. And it's crazy, when I was doing this ranking, I thought, when I just picked up the movies, I was like, well, it'll be probably number two. How can it beat Pulp Fiction? But the more I thought about it before I was making this movie, I was like, I love Jackie Brown. I mean, I really do. It's a great film, and if I had to pick one film to encourage somebody to see of his whole filmography, I feel like if I say Jackie Brown, you'll want to see more of his movies. Whereas, if I say Kill Bill, you may be like turned off by the violence, or, Reservoir Dogs, you might be turned off by the language, or, all these varying types of things that could turn you off from wanting to watch the rest of his movies. Jackie Brown, I think you'd be like, oh, that was a damn good caper. What else did he do? So, which I'm hoping, by the way, his last movie is a sci-fi movie. I hope to God he does a sci-fi movie for his last one, because I would just love to see Tarantino in that world. So, yep, those are my rankings of Quentin Tarantino's filmography. Josh, you got my shit. I need those Kill Bills back, and I'm on the lookout for Hateful Eight. So, that's it for today.